wouldn't say it's an abundance of funds, but it's money.
Well, sarcasm,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just hey, but we know that the private boosters, this is this is this is something that no program has at this level,
yeah.
So they're going to be able to they're going to outspend anybody they want for the most part. Not every player, but overall, their player budget, their NIL player budget, should be higher than anybody else's.
It,
And you think winning another one kind of calm down the boosters? Or
yeah,
no, that just
yeah,
they want to.
A-
People want to get behind a winner.
yeah. And if they get outbid, this is my thought, and this is across the board in the sports at LSU. You saw that the football team has brought in 3 more front office members just in the last
If
2 weeks.
Kelly can't do it or is not good at it, get some people that are.
No, you
And
have,
that's
you
what,
have to have that many people
well,
now.
this is what he should have done
Yeah.
4 years ago. I mean, I'm sorry.
At least 2 years ago, yes.
Oh.
And, they got to the general manager part of it pretty quick. Now they're staffing up because everybody has to have a value. Okay, you have to decide if this linebacker from Oregon State or this safety from Michigan comes on the board. We got to know how we value him. And if Tennessee values that player at more than we do, well, then so be it. We got to trust our rankings. It's like a draft. It's like free agency in pro football. The Saints may think more of, say, Justin Reed than the Chiefs did to sign him away. So if they get outbid, it's because they decided, hey, look, this is what we
Yeah.
decide the player's worth, and
No.
then you get into the player evaluation. Are you evaluating players properly?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the other thing,
Instead of we want them or not, a yes or no as far as offering them.
yeah,
Yeah.
The other thing that came out of SEC Media Days yesterday, I always, as much as I can, because sometimes this stuff is horribly boring, but John McDade, who is the SEC coordinator of officials, listen up. If you watch football, whether you bet on football, you just watch your team, or you like to watch all the games, this will affect how you watch college football this year. 3 rule changes, and the most obvious one is the defensive delay a game penalty that they're talking about emphasizing. And basically, this means if you, I'm going to say flinch. I'm going to use the word flinch. Trying to get an offensive lineman to
Trying to bait an offensive lineman into an illegal
you are
procedure.
going to be penalized for
Well,
defensive
that's always
delay.
inducement's always been.
But this is going to be ramped up even more. They got it with the clapping. Okay, the
Oh.
clapping was the big thing last year.
Okay.
So this one is, you used to be able to stand on the defensive line and do jumping jacks if you wanted to. Now they're going to really emphasize this, and you're going to have people looking around and
flinch. If you flinch like you go on trying to bait them, that's been called.
they're going to call it more.
No. I'm sorry. When the lineman moves, it's called.
Yeah,
So you're telling me even if the offensive line does not move, you understand?
yeah.
So
Well,
if you inducement has been enforced,
Here's the tricky
but
part.
if they don't move, are you going to call it just on a flinch?
They are going to call it on what they are saying is an abrupt, coordinated movement by the defense. Now, this is a judgment call by the officials. This is why I'm saying this is going to affect every game you watch. Like, he didn't mean to do that. He was just moving over. I saw LSU called for this when the whole defensive line shifted over a gap last year. Well, they got to decide. Are you going to be you're going to be penalized for defensive delay game if you attempt to, and again, I'm going to use the word flinch. That's the first one. The second one is, and I like, so that one I'm kind of iffy on because I don't know how that's going to play with the judgment calls. The second one I really like, which is when the ball is marked ready for play, if you go down with an injury at that point, you are going to be charged a defensive timeout, and if you don't have any left, it's going to be 5 yards. And I like that because, look, if you're really hurt, you're going to stay on the ground before the ball is marked
Yeah,
for
but they're
play.
falling down before that ball is set a lot.
They're going to have
mostly.
to, yeah. But they are at least making an attempt. The feigned injuries. If
I
you're,
know, but Charlie, they're most of the time they're falling down before to stop the tempo.
if the ball is marked ready for play and they fall down after that, they're going to be
I understand.
penalized.
I understand the rule.
Yeah,
it's a
so-
step, but it's not going to stop the faked injuries. Completely. Not it.
We'll see. I applaud them for at least
No,
making an effort here.
Just jog your memory. How many of those is the ball set? That's not a lot, man. It takes about 8 seconds or so, and those guys are going down quicker than. But some of them, So it'll cut out some.
Yeah, and then the third one is, and we see this a lot, when you have a defensive substitution, they get 3 seconds to move in. Otherwise, they're gonna mark the ball ready for play and let them go.
We'll talk about this more because we got Max and Randy lined up. We got to get them in because Max has a flight to go. We're going to get his British Open, the Open picks. We're live here at Finbom Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen. The Sushi Burrito, man, you can get the F-Bomb, the bombs.com, the Hatteras, the Dynamite Scallops, the Crazy Tuna, the Hookup, the Vegan Burrito. Or you can kind of mix and match and create your own. The Poke Bowls are great right now. We got so many people already coming in and getting their orders to go in the Poke Bowls. So it's light, it's good, it tastes good, and it's not going to weigh you down in these hot summer months here in South Louisiana. The Poke Bowls, you get the Rainbow, the Volcano, the Hawaiian, the Unbelievable, the Dragon Bowl, the Sumo Bowl, the Poke Bake as well. So, and then our ramen, don't just go get that canned chicken soup from the store. Get a ramen if you get sick. It'll really pick up your spirit. So all over here at Finbom, we're right next to Rouse's, where I did my grocery shopping earlier this morning. It's my grocery store here at Burbank and Lee. Finbom Sushi Burrito Poke Ramen on Burbank, right next to Rouse's at Burbank and Lee.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine.
Yes.
Thanks.
Giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Rufino'sRestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, the Open, British Open. Max is on his way to a golf trip out where else? In Arizona, of course. I don't know, Max, what you're going to do without your golfing partner. Me to calm you down, give you free reads, and everything
Free
else,
reads,
you
yeah.
know. So anyway, that's an exciting trip, man. I'm sure you'll. Have you played Scottsdale before?
I've never played desert golf. I guess I played once in Vegas, but yeah, this will be a lot different. So a little bit different, I think, than links golf, I would say.
I thought he was going to Ireland.
No, he's not going to Ireland. He's not going to Ireland. All right, Max, let's get to it. Who are we looking at here?
Yes, the Royal Portrush this week played only 6 years ago, 2019. Shane Lowry won here. It's a quick turnaround on the Open Rota, but there's a lot of fans that can attend here, so it's just the operation is very well done here. That's why they've come back so quickly after a long layoff. It hadn't been in Northern Ireland in quite some time, but we'll see. It's an interesting course in that it's very links style, or it is a links course. Let's be clear on that, but it's not Scottish links in that there's a little bit less shots that are available around the green. So I think these are smaller greens. They're not massive greens, double greens like you see at St. Andrews per se, but there are these runoff areas. It's a little bit harder around the green. So I think it's a second shot golf course in my opinion. You've got to be able to hit your irons close on the greens, and then when you miss around the greens, you're going to have to be able to scramble your way out of it. Not as many bunkers, not as many pot bunkers as we traditionally see in an Open Championship, but I think it favors a hitter that is extremely good with their irons and then can clean up around the greens when they miss. Xander Schauffele is the defending champion, and I'm going to roll with him again this week at a good number, 25-1. He's someone who has yet to win this season, but he's made every single cut. He's trending in the right direction. He's had a lot of top 25 finishes in his last 9 starts, and he was lights out on approach last week at the Scottish Open, led the field by far with his iron play, finished 8th place. I think he's trending in the right direction. He showed he can do it last year. He won 2 majors. Maybe he breaks through and wins a 3rd this year. So Xander Schauffele, 25-1, I think is a great value to start off the card. Robert McIntyre, 45-1, a Scottish player who did not play very well last week in his defense of the Scottish Open title. He was very upset about it, but he also talked a little bit in the post-game press conference or, in the media room about how certain golfers can only win here because of lower ball flights and because of lower spin rates. When you get up in the wind, when you spin it a lot, it's out of control. And he talks about how a lot of the field, they only play links golf one time in the year. So why would they have their game sort of set up for the 1 week of the year where this fits? Well, his game certainly fits Scottish links. He's won, as I mentioned, last year at the Scottish Open, but he was 2nd place the year before. He has got some other European Tour links experience where he's done pretty well. And he hasn't won yet this year, but he did finish runner-up at the U.S. Open. He's got a lot of top 20 finishes as of late. So Robert McIntyre, 45-1, makes a lot of sense. Although he's in maybe this slightly worse wave. We always look at weather waves in the Open Championship, and it looks like the Thursday a.m., Friday p.m. wave will be the slight advantage. The wind's supposed to die down as the day goes on Friday. So McIntyre is not one of those guys, but most of my picks this week are. One of the guys who is Matt Fitzpatrick, 55-1. Who goes off tomorrow morning. Fitzpatrick is trending in the right direction after a bit of a struggle to start the season. A European player, English player, makes a lot of sense. Finished 4th last week. He's a super popular pick at the Scottish Open. I'm sure he'll be super popular this week. I imagine he'll end up being one of the consensus picks this week. But he's got 2 consecutive top 10 finishes. He's got a run of top 25 finishes lately. So it makes a lot of sense. He's won on a Dunhill Links course or Dunhill Links Championship back in 2023. That's the European version of just a link style test. They play St. Andrews one of the days. So he's shown that he can do it on link style, and his putter has really gotten hot. It always can get hot, but his whole game is rounded into form. So really like Fitzpatrick at 55-1. Russell Henley, 65-1, an American player who doesn't have a ton of great links track record, but he did finish last year in a pretty good spot at the Open Championship. Let me see if I can pull up. I think he finished fifth. He was somewhere in the top 10. Yes, he finished fifth place at the Open Championship. Is his first top 10 at an Open in his career, but he's someone who hits the ball pretty low, lower spin rate, doesn't hit the ball long, but I don't think that's going to be totally penalizing like it is at St. Andrews and some of the other courses in the Roto where you have to hit it far to succeed. He's got 3 consecutive top 10 finishes, including at the U.S. Open, finished runner-up at the Travelers. So really like Russell Henley's game. If he can keep it low, stay out of the weather, like him at 65-1. And then a couple long shots. I'm actually going to leave a little bit of room for one more addition based on the weather. You can always get somebody live. I think this is a great in-game type of tournament. But Hideki Matsuyama is 100-1. He's won a major. He's got a okay track record on links. I just don't get how someone of this pedigree could be 100-1. He's probably a top 20 player still right now in the world. His approach play numbers have been exceptional as of late. He's always a great player around the greens with a short game, can scramble his butt off. Hideki Matsuyama maybe breaks through with his second win. 100-1, I think, is a great value on Hideki, and he does get the better wave. And then one more, Jason Day, 100-1, a traditionally great links player, absolutely outstanding. Even will come in with not great form and will pop off here. He's got a second-place finish 2 years ago at the Open, 13th last year. He's a great all-around player, tremendous around the greens. Aussies tend to play a little bit more and win traditionally. He grows up on a course like this. Aussies, the sand belt, they call it in Australia, plays a little bit similar to links golf, and I think that's going to translate again this week. He's been putting very well, finished 4th at the Travelers this month, or I guess it was last month in June, but just a couple weeks ago. So really like Jason Day. His form is good. His links record is even better. So Jason Day, 100-1, rounds out my card.
I thought you were going to go. Well, you went with one sort of in-form Euro in Fitzpatrick, and I thought he was going to win last week. But you did not choose. I'm surprised you didn't go with another in-form Euro, and that's Victor Hovland.
Yeah, Hovland, the question I really have with him, his approach play has been outstanding. I was on him last week. He had a chance a little bit on the back nine on Sunday at the Scottish, made a big number. That's kind of been the problem. He's got a couple of big numbers in him. It reminds me a little bit of Oberg at the moment. He'll just drop in a double or triple out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The question I have for Hovland, and he doesn't have the best weather wave. He's paired with Oberg and Jordan Spieth, which is going to be an incredible pairing to watch. But his around the green game is where I question it. He's always been a weak chipper of the golf ball, and I think that could be exposed a little bit more at this golf course as compared to other Open courses because the greens are raised a little bit more. They're higher above the ground. It's going to make for more of a challenge around the greens, and so that's why I ended up – he was a late scratch, but Victor Hovland, I understand the case for him. I think he'll be a pretty popular pick this week, but I just don't think his chipping is quite good enough to break through at this specific Open venue.
All right, Max.
At what point is the weather supposed to change in this round? You're the weather guy. You say there's an advantage here. At what point in the round do you think?
I don't see a massive advantage tomorrow for the first round. It looks like it's going to be at worst in the middle of the day, which kind of levels things out. There is no split tees, so everyone's just going off as it is. You know, all day long, people are going off the first tee. So there could be a slight wave to advantage towards anyone who goes off really early or really, really late tomorrow. But specifically, it's Friday when you look at it. The wind is supposed to be high. Not a ton of rain on Friday. It looks like there will be some spotty showers all throughout the tournament, which you expect in the Open Championship. But it's that the wind completely dies off in the later afternoon on Friday. That's going to be a chance to get some birdies, scoring opportunities on Friday. So I think the fact that you have one little hiatus from the wind on Friday afternoon does favor that AM/PM wave.
You want him to miss his flight, asking him a weather question? You know he's going to go on forever. I mean, come on.
Got what I needed. Jason Day off early on day one, so late on day two.
Yeah, the
so
Thursday
correct.
a.m.,
Yeah,
Friday
so,
p.m.
yeah, okay.
Group, no doubt. One thing about Hideki, Max, if he's in position, he's not afraid to win. We talk about these the golfers, and it's all the sports, but I think it's even more pronounced in golf. Man, they're better in the chase than they are in the protect mode. And you talked about Schauffele has not missed a cut. 4, to my knowledge, have not missed a cut. Of course, Scheffler. And then is it Leishman or Leishman? And then and McCarty. And that's it. That's it. It's to my knowledge.
Leishman's on live, so I'm not going to really give him.
Gotcha. Okay, so 3.
He
One
makes
of
it every
3.
week.
Yeah, with McCarty. So there you go. All right, you'll be in Scottsdale. I'll be with a bunch of people from Scottsdale who
there you go.
drive 4.5 hours to get away from that heat. So it's a dry heat, man. And let me know who gets the Guichard Award in this group. So yes.
Oh boy, I will keep you updated.
Safe travels, Max. I know you'll enjoy it, man. Have fun.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
All
it.
right, so Xander McIntyre. McIntyre was he was the defending champ of the Scottish Open going into this one, and so he kind of flattened out. So he's got him back here. Matt Fitzpatrick, I thought he was going to win on this past week in the Scottish Open, and then we got Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley, and Jason Day. Wes Reynolds at 12:15. The consensus golf report and the picks for the British Open at 12:30 later today. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Our great team at Legacy Title, long-standing team at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie, and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title 296-0060.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
47th.
What's that?
47th.
Oh, okay. Sam Burns last week.
Yeah.
Big dog, where you at, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I thought I was in Mountain Time Zone when I texted you earlier, but I'm still in Central Time Zone, still in North Dakota. So I was a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, Big Dog texted me about 45 minutes ago. Said, man, you running late? I said, Randy, I'm kind of finishing up, setting up here, buddy. So, hey, listen, I'll take early over late any day, man. That's what makes you good. I'm going to Del Mar Friday for a couple of weeks. Your boy Crackman going to be there? Your buddy?
Oh, I'll try to find out. I know he's back east right now, and I'll contact him, see if he's making a trip down there, and sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I saw him last year, believe it was, down by the paddock area before one of the races. So had to talk to him a little bit. Got to introduce myself to him when I see him. So, hey, SEC Media Days, before we get to our NFL, our weekly NFL future profile, and it's the 49ers this week. And you're doing these every Wednesday when I'm gone as well. But with Big 12 Media Days, with SEC Media Days wrapping up tomorrow, any thoughts or any – I know you specialize in the NFL, but any college future thoughts, especially with the SEC?
No, still kind of looking at the college a little bit, trying to, get used to all these teams, switching players and see who's got returning players and that kind of thing. But still kind of waiting to see progress. Mostly I look at the NFL, but you got to keep an eye on that college, and of course you can find some edges there as well. And I know you guys got a lot of good college guests that I listen to, so I'll be waiting to hear what they have to say about college football too, and have looked at some numbers.
Charlie, did you see what happened when Sarkisian took the podium yesterday? The fight song?
Yeah, they played the A&M fight song.
Right.
Yeah.
So Texas officials have contacted the offices, the SEC, and they asked, how are you going to compensate us? So what the SEC is offering Texas is to count UTEP and Texas Southern as conference games.
Well, that's only fair.
Yeah,
Only fair. Did you notice how quickly they corrected it? They played the Texas fight song with him coming off the stage.
Yes.
So as not to offend anybody. I'm going to fix this crap quick. Okay?
Yes. Let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers because, the biggest question, obvious, has their window closed? Because they were, 21, the NFC Championship game. Man, they had a shot. They had a shot. They lost 2017 at Los Angeles. 2010-22 NFC Championship game. Purdy gets hurt in the at Philadelphia. They made it to the Super Bowl and lost in overtime in 23, and then 6-11 last year. Now some injuries involved. Now gone is Debo Samuel. He's gone now. So with the Washington Commanders, but Purdy, they locked him up. They do give him his money. We'll see. He's really good with a supporting cast, but limited with his skill set. Just the rest, have they lost some of that defensive front as well? So, I think in that 3-year stretch, that was the best roster in the NFL. And I know the Chiefs and Mahomes, well, he's significantly better than Purdy, but still, now after this 6-11, we also look there to win it all. They're 20-1, which is 7th, 8th, 9th choice with Cincinnati and Green Bay. 4th to win the NFC at 10-1. First to win their division at plus 150. The Rams are second choice at plus 195. Over 10.5 wins is plus 110. Under 10.5 wins minus 130. And the schedule is good. AFC South, that's a check. Those 4 games. NFC South, that's a check. I mean, especially with the best team, maybe losing their offensive lineman for, I don't know, for the start of the season with Wirfs down in Tampa Bay. And in the NFC West, well, where do you have the NFC West overall? I'm curious. I would think sort of middle of the pack. So I think the schedule is advantageous as well. Has the window closed on the San Francisco 49ers, Randy?
The windows may be closed for them to make a title run. This team could easily make the playoffs this year, as you mentioned. The schedule is the easiest in the NFL. The only real tough road games they have is at Houston, and that L.A. Rams, of course, that's going to be a big one for the division there. But there are other road games except for Arizona, or you got the Giants, the Saints, Seattle, I said the Giants, Cleveland, Indianapolis, pretty easy there as far as that goes. A lot of concerns with this team, and they lost a lot of their depth. Offensive line ranking for me is number 23, which is pretty low, and it could be even lower depending on this Trent Williams, their best.
Right.
Without him on the offensive line, when he doesn't play, that offensive line, it doesn't block very well. And then, of course, we've got to bring up the health of Christian McCaffrey, too. Is he going to be able to, stay healthy for a season behind this offensive line? So a lot of question marks about this team. I don't think they should be the favorite to win the division, even though they got this easy schedule. I see the Rams being a better team. This defense, they brought back Salah, a big addition. I think that'll help a lot. But you lose guys like Greenlaw, Finga. You did address some of your defensive line issues with the draft with this kid from Georgia that you guys know better. And then you got stalwarts on it like Bolsa and Fred Warner. This team could be up and down in this easy schedule. They could lose a few of those games too. I see them slightly worse than the Rams. In fact, I would recommend a bet on Week 5, Thursday night game, big Thursday night game. They go to L.A. Rams after 2 straight home games, which they could come out 3-0 or 4-0, 3-1 or 4-0. But I see this spot coming on to Thursday night there in Week 5 against the Rams being a bet against. So Rams right around the pick 'em there would be a recommendation for me as far as betting against this team.
Quick turnaround on the game, but that even on a Thursday night game, they're going to have as much, if not more, fans in the stands. I mean, we've seen those, those games in Los Angeles before with the 49ers. But, man, they have a chance. You're right. Some of the opener. What is that line right now? About a pick 'em at Seattle? Is it opening week, Randy?
Yeah, I got slightly favored mention on mine. I didn't look at all the opening weeks coming into this, but I got them slightly favored on the road, and then they're about 5.5, 6-point favorites at New Orleans. So you get 2 pretty easy games, and then Arizona and Jacksonville at home before that Rams game. So we'll see how this team starts out.
But I'm focusing on the away games because they're going to be favored on all the home games. I mean, I'll be surprised if they're not favored in every one of their home games. I mean, who is it? The Rams is the toughest one, and if they're playing at Los Angeles, that's a pick, on that Thursday night game. I mean, at Houston, at Tampa, I think they are. If Tampa Bay is 4-2 or 3-3, Tampa Bay with that long curve, Tampa Bay would maybe a slight favorite, but under a field goal. I mean, at Houston, under a field goal. Maybe at a field goal.
Yeah, that would be Houston would probably be a small favorite in my book.
So the biggest underdog they'll be is a field goal all season, Charlie.
Yeah,
this will change as with the wins and losses, the results come in over the course of the season. But still,
there's a lot of things I like about this team. First of all, they addressed a lot of the defensive stuff. The first 5 picks in the draft were all defensive, all on the defensive side of the ball. I know all of their receivers are unhappy with their contracts. It seems like that's a yearly thing in San Francisco, but I think it's a good receiving core. I think Ricky Pearsall takes.
Who's complaining? Besides Ayuk?
Juwan Jennings.
Oh gosh, he's very average.
Okay, they already moved one guy that was complaining.
I know,
about
but
it.
I mean, he is very. He needs to just be happy he's got a contract.
I think with Ayuk, Jennings, Pearsall, McCaffrey, Kittle, this is a really nice skill position group. Randy, I'm interested to hear you talking about that offensive line because Trent Williams is still, I think, one of the top 2 or 3 tackles in football when he's healthy. I know he's older, so if you got him that low, the rest of these guys. I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert on the rest of them. They must not be very, very good because Williams is still, I think, elite. And the other thing I like about them, if McCaffrey gets hurt and he's getting towards the back end now, I really like Jordan James, the scat back out of Oregon. He did a nice job catching the ball up there. For a guy that's only about 5'10" and about 205 pounds. He took a lot of carries up at Oregon last year, so I'd like him to move in as a backup there. I love the schedule. I love getting plus money at 10.5 with them. 10.5 over wins.
Trent Williams last year played just 10 games, but the years before 15, 15, 14, and then at 10. In those runs. So. He's been
He's been as durable as you can be for a 36-year-old offensive lineman who's played in the league for a dozen years.
Randy, where do you have Purdy? What do you think of him?
I got him about right around an average quarterback. The thing is, he's played with all these weapons, and we've seen when when his offensive line has trouble, and he gets off rhythm there and off tempo, that he struggles trying to improvise a little bit. That's where he throws his interceptions. So this offensive line doesn't hold up. He could have a bad year. I mean, there could be, if they get behind, there could be a lot of, and he's showing that he can throw the bad interception every once in a while, and that could happen with this offensive line, especially if, they don't hold up on that left side. So that's what I'm a little scared of with him. But he's one of these quarterbacks, a lot like Kirk Cousins. You got to have a good offensive line, otherwise he's not going to be able to function improvising.
Well, part of what has kind of eased him through his developmental and allowed him to really flourish also very early in his career, despite having some, undersized, not the greatest arm strength, but man, he would throw the ball in the rim. But they've always been a good rushing team. You got their offensive line in the mid-20s. They can't have a great rushing game, which eases, takes a lot of pressure off of him as well.
Yeah, and you're looking in division. You're looking at some pretty good defenses too with the Rams. Arizona, that coach there, he's a defensive coach. I see that team being very improved. In fact, that might even be a sleeper for the division. And then Seattle is going to be relying on defense a lot here too. And of course, that guy was. Their head coach is one of the better defensive coaches as well. So, in division, he's going to see some really good defenses.
All right, Randy. Well, good stuff, man. So over or under 10.5?
Yeah, that's a wait and see for me. I mean, this easy schedule, that looks like it could be a really good bet, like Charlie mentioned, but I would, you can play these during the season,
right.
So it's a wait and see with me, with this team. I just do not, I just do not have faith in this offensive line. I look at offensive line and defensive lines, and this one isn't very good. So that's what concerns me the most.
One more question, because more than half, I think, was it like close to 20? Excuse me, that went over the alternate. So like instead of 10.5, you wanted to go over, you go over 11.5 or under 9.5 with San Francisco. Would you split up your bet, or you bet, or percentage, or how would you do that, or do you fool with the alternate lines at all?
I do that at times. Usually you get a little bit more, you get worse juice against you by doing that, but sometimes there's value on doing that, but not in this case here. I don't see the floor of them getting, at most 11 games. I don't see their ceiling being up in that 13, 14 range, even with this easy schedule.
Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Keep Charlie straight while I'm gone, all right, big dog?
All right, sounds good. We'll try that. He's a tough character.
We'll be all right.
Don't bring him to the sand. Don't bring the sand to the beach.
Sand's in the rearview mirror.
Thank you, Randy. Enjoy your weekend, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big, with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest right down the street, right down Burbank, here from Finbom, and that is at Burbank and Blue Bonnet. I've got an account with them over at United Community Bank. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Your business is our business at United Community Bank. We support the hardworking folks behind local business, from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments. Contact Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Get Moss Max and Lestex during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway to Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Scott Rabelais be with us at the top of the hour. He's at SEC Media Days. Alabama up, one of the teams up this morning. Kind of finish up on San Francisco as we continue through our NFL previews. That receiving core is interesting. Jawan Jennings had a nice year last year, just under 1,000 yards receiving, but he's squawking about his contract. Ayuk's been squawking about a contract for basically 2 years. Debo was squawking about a contract. Ricky Pearsall is the guy that could make the jump. He had a decent rookie season, 31 catches for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. That would be okay for a rookie anyway. Considering he got shot in the offseason and had to make it back from that, he could be a jump guy, a guy that makes a big jump in year 2.
Pearsall is eventually going to pass up Jennings, and I think it could be this year. I think it would be this year. Jennings has he has a hard time separating, and like you said, Pearsall and rookie receivers, it's a learning curve. I mean, the production usually doesn't come immediately for most of the receivers, the rookie receivers. So I agree with that. They just seem a little bit more. They're once a time they had that. Oh man, the big defensive lineman from the Colts as well, and they had these guys, and they had these linebackers and safeties. It just the amount of impact star type of guys. I mean. They can't afford McCaffrey to go down. They can't afford Williams to go down. So their roster is more vulnerable this year.
I want to see Mikael Williams on the other side of Nick Bosa.
But damn, that schedule is easy peasy. Easiest in the league.
Hour number 2 from Finbom, straight ahead, Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Doe's Eat Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886
or WorkboxLLC.com. You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or WorkboxLLC.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 10
23rd is the Bucks and the 30th is the Broncos. Yeah.
Oh, Scott's on.
Okay. For your favorite South Louisiana dishes, whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
At Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, we encourage you to get multiple estimates for your home improvement project. We just want to be one of them, and then you'll see why we are the best choice. GEAUX, Tommys.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabelais from The Advocate.
If he's enjoying the finer things in life, he's not in downtown Atlanta.
He's in the ATL. Scotty, what's going on, man?
Better go north.
Man, downtown Atlanta is a little wild these days.
Well,
and of course we had the Beyonce concert, the WWE, you got the All-Star game, and the media days. There's a lot going on in the ATL.
It has been a hot topic over there. There's no shortage of stuff to do.
Did Sankey say if they're going to limit the overtimes, they're just going to have a slugging contest? Huh?
It's funny you should mention. Yes, that is the new rule. Yeah.
You know what I thought of as soon as they started doing that last night? Bud Selig with his hands out.
Oh, of course.
Of course. The tie game and the All-Star game years ago.
Scott, before Charlie gets going, real quick, with the new enforcement of the defensive delay of game, once the ball is set, has anybody speculated the percentage of injuries that were faked after the ball was set? Because I think it'd be I'm just guessing about 25 to 33. I think most of them, these guys are faking injuries before the ball is set. But anyway, has there been any speculation by some of the media on that?
Not that I've heard, but I think you're not that anyone's talking about it around me, but I think your number is pretty accurate. I mean, to say the third, you might be a little conservative. It's a good rule. I mean, this is something that we don't want to see become international soccer, which I do love. But I mean, the flops are ridiculous, and these things are ridiculous, and no one wants to see it. And I think it's a rule that everyone welcomes, but it's enough of a problem that they decided to make this change for this year, and I think it's a good decision. Sure.
Yeah, I like the rule. I like the fact that the commissioner came out last year and made a solid statement in public that basically knocked this crap off, and that's exactly what they are doing.
Yeah, you saw that coming. You saw this rule coming.
Yeah.
When you said that.
That rule I like.
NCAA or SEC?
I thought it was NCAA, but the SEC officials are definitely talking about the emphasizing.
But you're talking about Sankey did, but
yeah.
I would think.
Scott,
but
that's a good question. I thought it was an NCAA rule.
This is a new NCAA rule.
Okay. Yeah. Let's real quick on the other two. The defensive delay a game with the abrupt movement. I think this is going to catch a lot of people when they're watching games in September going, wait a minute, this is new. If the officials are tasked with a judgment call on what an abrupt movement is, I think this rule is going to take some getting used to, Scott. I think Kirby's got a point here when he said, look, if we want to talk about what an abrupt move is on the defensive line before snap, we can sit here all day and argue that. You heard McDade yesterday. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's kind of in the vein, if I may say, kind of in the vein of, what is targeting and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's the same level of, obviously one is a violent action, potentially violent action, and it's something you can injure someone. I'm not as much a fan of that one because it's because of the judgment call involved, and I think one man's abrupt move is another man's legal move.
Yeah.
So I'm not as much a fan of that one.
I wasn't a big fan of it last year either when they were calling it clapping for delay a game. So we'll soldier through that one. The third one I did like, which is they're going to give defenses 3 seconds to make substitutions. I can remember a number of times last year where the umpire is going and gets between the center and the quarterback and says you have to give the defense time to move, time to substitute. And what they found is that the defenses are lollygagging so much with this that their play clock is running out on the offense because the defense is not reacting fast enough. They're going to give them 3 seconds this year. If you don't get your defensive personnel on the field in 3 seconds, the umpire is going to get out of the way, and the offense is free to snap the ball. This one may be the most impactful of all early on.
Yes, and obviously they're still very mindful of length of games. McDade showed a graphic thing. Length of games has kind of plateaued, maybe gone up a little bit last year. Year over year, it's hard to tell from one year to the next. But there's something that's still concerned about. Still well above 3 hours. Like I think it was 3:21 last year. So this will help that. Right? And you're right. The defenses should be allowed to get set and to substitute based on all these crazy things, exotic things that offenses do today. But it doesn't need to be the point of slowing down the game or creating a delay. And if they're in the interest of fair play to the offense and the length of games, which we all agree is too long, I think that's a good rule as well.
Scott, watching and listening from here, if I had to describe LSU's contingent in 3 words, it would be embrace the expectations. What did you take from Brian Kelly and company on Monday?
Well, I think it's been the whole thing for LSU this offseason. They're like, they got to improve the roster. They feel like they have improved the roster. You got to improve the coaching staff. You got to improve the front office personnel, which is something I wrote about on Monday. To support you, help you get the constant feed of talent that you obviously have to have in college athletics because of the turnover. Yeah, they've embraced it. Like, say what you want about Brian Kelly, and say what you think about expectations for LSU this season, but they're not backing down on any of it. And this is a team. The more I go through media days and see the teams that LSU is going to play, the more that I think, well, it's a lot of games that could go either way. This season where they are very good enough to make the playoff, and I think if you made me guess, I think they will be. But there's a lot of games too where you think they wind up 8-5 because it just didn't go their way for whatever reason, and that includes a game like Florida's up there right now, a game with the Florida Gators. Boy, if LSU loses to Clemson, what an enormous game that becomes in week 3. So, but yeah, I always like that. I'm don't pour mouth, don't duck it. You built this team you built what you think is a championship competitive roster. Go ahead and embrace it, and they have. And for Brian Kelly, as he said, has not always been an all-in guy. Saying they're all in, but like all or nothing. But they've taken that attitude this year. Will change. A change in how they're approaching the Clemson game, right? Talking about the 1-0 and putting the Clemson paw prints all over the weight room and the locker room and stuff like that. Might as well change things because things haven't quite been what you want them to be the first 3 years.
Yeah, the psychological portion of it.
Charlie better get him this year. I mean, who's going to be quarterback next year? Tyler Shutt?
Next year's quarterback may not be on this year's roster.
Is this transfer portal budget going to be annual? Probably not.
Maybe not.
Was Ole Miss's annual this year?
No.
It
wasn't.
You better get it done this year.
This is the year. Alabama was up this morning, Scott. I got to see just a little bit of this before we started with the show. They project to start Ty Simpson at quarterback. Anything interesting from DeBoer and company this morning?
Not a whole lot. Alabama. They talked to and just kind of. I went from player to player and listening to DeBoer. They. It's kind of funny, Charlie. How do I put this? It walks like Alabama. It talks like Alabama, but it's the same Alabama without Nick Saban. I just can't get past that. Do they still have talented players? Yes. Is DeBoer a good coach? I definitely think so. But you don't have that mystique. You just don't. And no one's afraid of Caleb DeBoer. No one's afraid of. Quite as afraid of Alabama. Now, that's it. LSU's got to go there. It's going to be a tough game in November, as it always is. But it's not quite the same. And like I said, they try to sound like the Alabama of old, but I don't know. I'm not quite buying what they're selling.
It's just another program. They're a good program. They put a lot of money.
Yeah.
They're still going to have, a heavy budget. They're going to be one of the top, football budgets in the country. They're recruiting very well right now, but that roster and that staff, it's not what it was. That was it's a mistake because the damn roster was so damn tough.
Yeah.
And so they can beat a Georgia, but they can lose to Vandy and a pitiful Oklahoma team for their standards.
This is an easy comparison to make, but we're all old enough to remember this. They strike me right now as the Ray Perkins, Bill Curry Alabama teams that followed Bear Bryant. But they were good from 83 to, say, 90. They were good, but they weren't
How many Alabama teams have come into Tiger Stadium and beaten LSU the way they did? So they're capable, but it's not week in and week out.
No.
So you just don't know what you get there. And they have the problems of the common, of the other programs, so they're back to the pack. They're good. They're going to be good. They're going to have a budget. They're going to recruit pretty good, but no, not where they were.
Scott, Oklahoma's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just Auburn was here yesterday, and we were talking about Auburn. They're kind of picked to be a middle-of-the-pack team, but Alabama goes there this year, and there's a lot of people I talk to that I think Auburn's going to win that Iron Bowl this year. So that's a game where the Auburn's not great. But they're thinking you can beat out.
Auburn has beaten or given much tougher Alabama teams all they can handle.
And
at
worse
that
Auburn
place.
teams.
Yes. And how much? We know Auburn's going to be improved. How much, Scott?
I've got a shameless plug here in a way. I write for Athlon Magazine. I'm holding their preseason magazine. They picked them 11th in the league. So improved somewhat, but they got a great receiver core. And I was just voting on the preseason All-SEC team, and I'm looking at guys like Cam Coleman and thinking they've got some really good talent. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it was anything that's just knocking your socks off by Auburn. Again, Hugh Freeze talks about how they're improved and everything, and he likes his roster and everything. But Hugh Freeze is always striking as kind of a televangelist who coaches football. So I don't know if I'm buying what
Has he lost his touch on offense? He was an excellent offensive coach, Charlie.
A lot of the concepts that they were doing 10 years ago, the rest of college football is caught up to. It reminds me a little bit of Chip Kelly.
Exactly.
For a while, Chip Kelly had a schematic advantage, and then college football
let me tell you
caught
now,
up.
that quarterback play he had last year, we can debate on the Oklahoma transfer, but that quarterback they had last year played, No,
Peyton
you
Thorne.
got to give him at least he's got a chance. A
Yeah.
guy that's some people want.
I still think Freeze is a good coach. I could care. I don't care for him personally all that much with the televangelical stuff. Hey, shouldn't he be required to improve their record in the SEC? One game for every stroke he takes off his handicap. I mean, that's been the big
That's
topic,
not a
right?
good sign to be a good golfer. I'm sorry, Scott.
He apparently is a good golfer, and he's apparently been spending a lot of time playing golf. And Lane Kiffin is keeping score. I know that much.
Did you see Lane Kiffin with Finbom? He says, "Well, I only complimented Hugh. I said he had a great golf game."
You got to talk about fishing. Lane Kiffin's always worth the price of admission. Scott, this afternoon, Oklahoma. Is Brent Venables on the hot seat in Norman?
He is, but I was talking to Barry Trammell, the columnist from Tulsa World, who's covered them for a very long time. You have an older, wiser, gray-haired columnist like myself. And he said, yes, he is, but at the same time, do you want to spend all the money you'd have to? I don't know what the buyout is exactly. I think it's pretty enormous.
He gave him a contract extension last year for absolutely no reason.
Would you want to spend that money on a buyout, or do you want to spend the money on trying to attract more players and give him? I guess it comes down to if they believe in him long term or not. So I think this is the trend, right? For a lot of people, not most people, most schools, even really big time schools like Oklahoma or LSU or Auburn or whatever, they don't have the unlimited wealth that Texas A&M has. That we've got to get rid of Jimbo, we've got to turn this around now. Or do you just make that decision? We're going to go with you another year because we're going to let you try to get better players, and then we're going to cut you. So definitely the season. He's going to have a winning season, I think. But and how what Barry told me is how that season turns out. So if they're 6-5 going to the LSU game, it becomes a very, very interesting game for him.
Well, they buy him 3 wins, so if you can't get to 7-5, shame on you. At Oklahoma,
Phil Steele's #1 toughest schedule in the country, though.
Gross.
Hey, by the way, guys, one thing I may add, just an impression I'm getting. No one obviously has said definitely. Greg Sankey was asked Monday about the SEC schedule format for 26 and beyond. He said it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's kind of like a political promise, I think. But until we see it. But I'm getting more of the impression that they're going to stick with 8 games. I thought for a long time the LSU people want 9 games. There are a lot of schools that want 9, but you got people like Shane Beamer saying, "Hey, we already played 9, 10, games of SEC caliber. We're going to play Clemson, and this year they're playing Virginia Tech, for example." So more and more, I'm thinking they're going to stick with 8.
Another bridge 2-year deal, then, huh?
Well, perhaps. I mean, Sankey didn't say that in those words. What he did say was that they might create a schedule format that has some built-in look-in, a la the college football playoff format. And when they talk about look-ins, like, okay, here's the format we have. Here's who you're playing, and here's who's your permanent opponent, and stuff like that. But we're going to take a look X number of years down the road and see if we like this. So that was a new concept that I haven't heard before in terms of SEC schedule.
They got to tell ESPN how many teams are in the playoffs moving forward before they know what the committee is going to do as far as non-conference strength of schedule. So it's a heck of a thing that they're trying to do here. I think that getting the money, they're going to have to turn down some money to not go to 9 games unless the playoffs come up with a format that fixes that. And none of that has happened yet. Scott, safe travels back, man. We appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm looking for a lock after that Anisimova egg that I dropped. But
you're taking that one hard, man.
Oh, it's embarrassing. But the new defensive, what do you call it? A pre-snap penalty for the I don't know, legal procedure. The judgment call. Charlie, judgment calls on rules that are long as day, like targeting, interference, and holding, personal fouls, are inconsistent. New judgment calls, this should be all over the board. In the enforcement, all over the board. You're going to get from game to game, week to week. There's going to be no consistency.
The first week, you're going to be in the sports book, obviously. On the first,
Yes.
I want you to get just kind of document in your head the reactions you get from this from people that don't know the rule. And
what is the signal?
I guess it's a delay of game. So
you're going to do delay game defense?
Yeah,
Okay.
on a
Okay.
defense. So get ready for that one.
Well, don't forget about friends over at Go Chevrolet in Laplace, and then Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine. The Go Automotive Group, my buddy Lee Carney and the great team over there. Man, the Silverado trucks, Colorado trucks are outstanding. How about the SUVs? Ultra popular Tahoes and Suburbans. I got the Trailblazers, the Blazers, the Traverse Equinoxes as well. Some of our cars like the Corvette, Camaro, and Malibu. We've got electric vehicles as well. Take the short drive over to Laplace like I did, and I don't just talk about the vehicles from Go Chevrolet. I drive a Chevy Tahoe that I got from Lee Carney over at Go Chevrolet. My buddy Lee, go check him out over at Go Chevrolet in Laplace.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in Laplace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Wes, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well, Jimmy. How are you?
Doing great, man. So it's kind of a, the All-Star break, a little bit of a soft time in sports, but here we go. The last major of the season, the Open, the British Open, and kind of a home course for Rory. Is he going to sober up from his, since his April-long, partying since he got the career slam. But how are we looking for the British Open? It'll start late tonight.
Yeah, well, he's certainly capable. And, Royal Port Rush Golf Club in Northern Ireland. So the only time the Open has been held is at Royal Port Rush. That's not actually in Great Britain. It's in Northern Ireland here. So link-style golf, a little bit different than some of the other links courses, though, because the greens are actually elevated here. They're not these flat greens. If you've watched the Open in the past, and I know people have, you see a lot of those times where you can run, like, chase shots up onto the green. You can't really do that here. You got to land them because they have runoff, and they'll run off the greens, and then you'll have to be, chipping uphill and playing bump and runs to try to save pars. So got to hit the greens here. So I think approach is really important. Your iron play is even more important this week. There are more forced carries and dogleg holes off the tee compared to other Open courses. And one of the things that's kind of hard to judge here at Royal Port Rush as well is that the holes don't go in the same direction, so the wind constantly changes direction. So you never know where it's going to come from. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be as tough a weather as we had here in Port Rush. If you remember back in 2019 when it was rainy and windy that Sunday and Shane Lowry kind of just ran away from the field in the final round. So it probably is going to play a little firmer and faster than it has in 2019.
Gotcha. All right. Who we looking at? Scheffler plus 450. Roy, Scheffler, is this the toughest major for him to get?
Probably, because he just doesn't have the links experience, and it takes a while to get used to it. Now, eventually, he's going to. You got to feel like he's talented enough. He's going to win one of these players. Be it this year. I don't think it's going to be, but I just think it's getting used to link golf. Look how long it took. Remember how long it took Mickelson to win the Open Championship, and he came up short. And just getting used to this style of golf and getting used to the speed of the greens. That's another thing to mention. These are about the slowest greens they're going to putt on. These are going to be like 10 on the stint meter, so they're going to be super slow. There's a lot of contours and undulations on the greens as well, so these are trickier than normal. A lot of the greens on these open rota courses, they're all slow, but they're a little more straightforward, a little more complex here at Port Rush.
He's never been really in contention to win one of these things on the last day, but he hasn't been terrible either. The last 4 years, 2 top 10s and 2 top 25s. So he's been okay by his standards, but not great.
Yeah, 17 top 10s this year. How about that this season? All right, let's get to some picks, Wes.
Yeah, I went with just below the big two with Scotty and Rory. I went with John Rahm.
Okay.
I was anywhere 12 to 14. Now I got him at 16. I would still play him at the current number. He actually has not won anywhere this year. It's been a winless campaign, but top 10s in the last two majors, both at the PGA and the U.S. Open, 7th or better in 3 of the last 4 Open championships. And this is the one, and Rahm I don't think is different from most Europeans. This is the one that they always want to win. They want to win the Open Championship because this was, I think, the most important major to all these guys. And I think Rahm is certainly no exception. He's been playing good golf. He just hadn't been closing the deal. But, man, I like the momentum he carries in here. He shot 65 at Valderrama, ended up finishing second at that live event in Spain last weekend. And Valderrama, while not a links course, has very narrow fairways. So that's a tough course to shoot around at 65 on. That's one of the tougher courses that anybody plays in pro golf. So John Rahm right there. Also Victor Hovland, who did miss the cut at Troon last year, but has never been worse than 13th in the Open. First time at Royal Port Rush, but he's gone well on these Harry Colt designs before. Look at his form at Wentworth in England where he's got a couple fifths. the green, the around the green game is always kind of seen as his weakness, right? But he was second around the green at the U.S. Open, just couldn't hit a good wedge on Sunday, and that's why he fell just short of Spawn to win that U.S. Open. He was also ninth in scrambling last week. So Victor Hovland, 30th to 1. Tyrrell Hatton, another guy that played very well at the U.S. Open. Best career major championship finish, T4 at Oakmont. And he's got a lot of links experience. He's won the Dunhill Links, which is a DP World Tour event, 3 times, where they play some of these open road courses at St. Andrews and at Carnoustie. So the link pedigree, I think, is very apparent, as it is for Robert McIntyre at 40 to 1. Didn't go very well in Scotland last week, but I don't think that that's going to necessarily matter. I don't think that that's necessarily the ideal link prep anyway, but now he's a 2-time PGA Tour winner. Remember, he finished 6th here at Fort Rush back in 2019, but he's certainly got the links experience. I think Bobby Mack goes well here, and then we get to a little bit of the longer prices. I've been mentioning Matt Fitzpatrick, who we had last week, who I mentioned that I had already bet. He's in good form, man. He's got top 10s leading into this event, including T4 last week in Scotland. I just think, now he's getting used to the new caddy and has played probably the best golf he's played in a couple years. So Matt Fitzpatrick in the 55 to 1 range. And then a couple Americans I didn't think I was going to be on. This has become popular, so this price has drifted from where I got it. But Russell Henley, who played very well at Troon last year, was 5th in the Open. He comes in, he was 5th at the Memorial, 10th at the U.S. Open, 2nd at the Travelers. Really good around the green and really good with the iron. And that's what you have to be this week. I don't think you have to be particularly long off the tee. You want to be maybe a little bit more precision over power, and I think that's what Russell Henley can do, and that's the same thing with Keegan Bradley at 100 to 1, who's not really, you don't consider him an Open Championship player, but this is going to clinch a Ryder Cup spot if he contends here, and I think he certainly will. I like the way he's playing. And then here's a longer shot that has a little bit of a narrative here. Tom McKibben at 150 to 1 is actually a member here at Royal Portrush. He's from Northern Ireland. He's only 22 years old, already won on the DP World Tour a couple years ago. Now he's on LIV. He's one of John Rahm's teammates, actually, in the team competition there on LIV. 4th last weekend at Valderrama. He's got actually 2 top 5 in his last 2 LIV events, 6 top 7s worldwide this year. So a big price for a guy that I think could get off to a really good start. Because McKibben, by the way, is in the first group off the seat, 6:35 Eastern time. So that might be somebody you want to look at for first-round leader, because you would think the wind is going to be the calmest in the earliest tee time.
Tom McKibben, McKibbin, as in boy, IN, 160 to 1 to win it all.
I got a reason to get up at 12:35
at our local shop. At our local shop, the DraftKings outlet over here at the Queen Casino. Very good, Wes. A lot media days, SEC media days in Atlanta, 4-day event. A lot of coach speak, but anything that you've picked up or kind of sparked your interest that may help shape some of these future opinions that you have in this league?
Not really. I mean, Lane Kiffin, of course, was Lane Kiffin, and he was having his little fun, as he always does at SEC Media Day. But, getting into a lot of stuff, we're getting we have the Mountain West out here down at Circa this week, and we're having 10 Media Day out here in Vegas next week, actually. So, excited about that. That's what I've been kind of delving into, writing for our betting guide that'll come out in early August. So been getting into the Big Ten. So I'm going to rely on you guys for a lot of the SEC, what is maybe a bounce back year for the Southeastern Conference. After, they had to share the spotlight with also rans like my Indiana Hoosiers in the Big
Ten. Man, Sankey's kicking and screaming, boy, when he hits the podium. So, man, and listen, I'm sorry, but I mean the SMU thing. I mean, they had a light schedule, man. So, but I'm not big about the automatic qualifiers either. I like having the Big 12, all those games mean something, and giving those people, giving those teams and those fan bases some hope to get one. I mean, 11 qualify. I'm sorry. at-large spots will be more than enough for a 16-team playoff. Follow Wes on Twitter at WesReynolds1, at WesReynolds1. Thank you, Wes. Good luck in the British Open this weekend.
You bet, fellas. Thanks for having me.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. It's hot. It is very hot. So if it breaks down, something is just not cooling properly, call 480-1000. 480-1000. Service today, every day means same-day service. You'll never sleep hot with you call Total Maintenance at 480-1000. Call today, get service today. We're a factory-authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, and Rheem products at Total Maintenance. We're authorized dealer for Generac and Cummins generators. Now is the time. We're right on the cusp of storm season, so now's the time to get those generators installed. And we're covering both Metro Baton Rouge and New Orleans areas, but not compromised in either because we have completely different staffs and offices for both. Breaks down. Call our friends who support the show, 480-1000. 480-1000, Total Maintenance. We've got a unanimous, and we've got 4 more consensus picks, common picks that we have for our contributors for the British Open. Dana Brown's consensus golf report for the British Open when we return.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730. Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Our Wednesday consensus golf picks are brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
All right, Charlie, all 3 of them. The unanimous pick is Russell Henley. So Russell Henley is 65-1 at the Queen, the DraftKings outlet, our local shop here. So that is the unanimous pick, Russell Henley. Henley, we talk about top 10s this year. 5 different golfers have reached double-digit top 10 finishes this season. Scheffler 17, Rory 14, and then 3. Henley, Fleetwood, and Griffin have 10 top 10 finishes. So Russell Henley has had a very good season. He at 65-1. Hello, let's get it going. The other consensus picks, common picks, are Victor Hovland. Hovland, who was hanging around last week and has kind of picked up last handful or so, give or take a few, is kind of getting back into form a little bit. He's 30-1 at the Queen. Terrell Hatton is another one. Terrell Hatton, where, of course, overseas golfer, British guy.
What are you looking for?
Odds. Whereas
Hatton,
no, he's way up there. Okay, 30-1. 30-1 there. McIntyre, Bobby Mack, they're going back at him after kind of a disappointing Scottish Open last week. So Robert McIntyre is at 45-1 at the Queen, and then Matt Fitzpatrick at 50-1. So Henley, Hovland, Hatton, 3 H's, Bobby McIntyre, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Of course, our consensus golf report all golf season long. Brought to you by our friends over at the law offices of O.C. Brown, downtown Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. So whether it's personal injury, criminal defense, DWI, estate planning, just traffic accidents, no problem. Call our team of specialized attorneys, Dana Brown, Susan Brown, Chris Perrette, David Connican, all of them specializing in different areas of law. So never a charge for that initial consultation. You can schedule that initial consultation by going to their website at ocbrown.com. There's a big block right there, big gold block. You click it, and away you go. So the consultation will allow us to review your case at no cost to you and take the time to get to know you and understand your legal goals and objectives while analyzing your case. We're located downtown at 123 St. Ferdinand Street. I have used Dana for a number of reasons at different stages of her life. Charlie, too, and we did not hesitate to recommend them to others as well. Downtown, Dana Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com.
It's been a busy, if you missed at the top of the show, it's been a busy last 24 hours for Jay Johnson, the LSU baseball program. I would say, 3 transfers in the transfer portal that will all play prominent roles, I think, next year. I'll do them in the reverse order, what we got them in, which was Cooper Moore, Kansas's Friday night guy. He became the Friday night guy basically right at the beginning of Big 12 play last season. 3.96 ERA, 85 strikeouts, and 88 in the third innings. Here's what you need to know, Jimmy. He visited 2 teams in the portal, LSU and Tennessee.
I was about to-
Tennessee,
Yeah.
right?
There you go. That's LSU's biggest competition in the baseball NIL game.
If you can go get somebody else's Friday night guy and from a power conference, and he's not going to be your Friday night guy, but you certainly got to think he's going to be in the rotation next year, or a very strong candidate to be in the rotation next year. Trent Caraway, the third baseman. This is a position of need for LSU. Oregon State transfer, was a number 145 prospect in the draft. Apparently put his number too high, went undrafted. He was leading off for Oregon State when they got to the College World Series, one of the best top 8 national seed last year. And Zach York, who hit 13 home runs for Grand Canyon, and they did move into since they moved into D1, he's hit the most home runs for that program. He'll stand out in the crowd. He's about he's listed at 6'2", 295, so you'll be able to pick him out.
Johnson said, I got the exact guy I want if we make it to the championship game to lead off.
Yes. He's going to get hit by pitch, right?
Yes, absolutely. A big target.
Kendall Rogers put this out a little while ago, and, we think the world of the work they do there at D1. Kendall Rogers says, between transfer portal and returning players, LSU baseball could be better in 26 than they were in 25. That's a mouthful. Even if that's a possibility,
Cowan and Evans are back.
Shape. Cowan and Evans are back.
You got some other guys.
Now Stanfield is back as well. So, doing a little bit of, talking in the last day, it's like, well, Curiel was going to move to center field. Well, if Stanfield's back, Stanfield's in center field. Curiel's in left and Brown's in right. That was the starting outfield for the national champions this year. You're bringing all of that back. You're bringing your shortstop back. You're bringing those pitchers you just talked about back.
Did you have to make cut a deal to get Curiel here that he would move to center field by his second year?
That was the plan, but I'm told that the adjustment is not a problem. So
he's got to get some reps. So because he
played a little bit at the end of this year.
You don't think he's a major league center fielder?
I do. I do.
I think so.
I think
but I want to see. I want to see his instincts.
Yeah,
out there and in reps.
Need some time out there, but it gives you some flexibility now to make some more moves. You fill the hole at third base. You have multiple options, I think, over at first base. John Pearson is tearing up the summer league right now. I like him a lot. I know he doesn't look athletic. Okay, I get that, but he can hit. And between him and York, neither one of them are going to go out and run a decathlon, but both of these cats can hit. And now you filled in with another starting pitcher that is a very strong candidate to be in your rotation next year. Maverick Rizzi is tearing up the Cape right now. It is absolutely killing it up there. So all of those things are very good. And
when you win a natty, it only strengthens your support, in a sport where you're on top as it is. And so this guy has, won 2 in 4 years. That's a lot. And people are willing to support a winner. It's just, and he's.
You got the best fan support. You've got the best conference. You've got the best coach right now.
Best fan support, but also best booster support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there's. I want to distinguish, money and people in the stands.
Right.
Okay.
And you get
because
this
is what we're talking. Because money, he wasn't exactly a happy camper when they gave him his percentage, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
not at all.
But he's got booster support like nobody else.
They're in the best conference. If you're talking about your pitching coach. Look at what he did with this staff this year.
The pitch that developed some pitchers. No, the pitching from beginning to end, was really good. Be careful. We want to overdo the way Omaha plays sometimes, but you just lower your bar, or you raise your bar a little bit for pitchers in that part, but they were still excellent. Excellent. You can pitch a shutout. On one of the games.
The staff led the nation in strikeouts 2 years running. So that'll take and in the Southeastern Conference, it's important.
Yeah. No, this is a tough
with all
league.
the hitters' parts.
It's a tough league to pitch in.
Yeah.
And with that horrible non-conference schedule, though, can't look for him to schedule any tougher with the results. I mean, it worked out.
You got everything you wanted.
Because you could make a case that if they started slow in conference play, that they just weren't tuned up. They weren't pushed by some of the non-conference competition. But
one caveat, and he wanted to schedule a little tougher. There's some teams backed out on.
Okay.
They opened with Missouri last year, a historically bad team in the league, so it allowed them to get up to the
non-conference.
Yeah, I know you're saying that if your non-conference schedule is softer, you start slow in the conference. It was a soft non-conference schedule last year, but they got to start with Missouri. Got them off to a good start.
To your point earlier in the show, while you comparing, this guy working, and that's been one of the things that, there's a lot of these boosters were put in place for Skip. When Skip worked them, he built it, and so they're kind of hanging around. Wade had some guys that were given more than usual, and there was some, and kind of don't really, wasn't as warm and fuzzy. Didn't embrace it as much, and so no, you got you two totally ends of the spectrum as far as trying to embrace it. But you got. I've always said to the basketball too, it takes a special guy because they don't have a ton of basket. They've been down so long. They've been down so long that you gotta hold on to the ones that are willing to reach out to you, man. Beggars can't be choosy.
And you have some potential there. I mean, you were there in 19 when they won the league. I mean, was the place hopping? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not like they're going to ignore it if you win.
I'll never forget.
They'll go.
That Vandy game, the Tennessee game. That Vandy was to clinch it. But they had all the theatrics that surrounded it, made it a Shakespearean. But the place was popping.
Yeah.
And Will was far from a perfect coach. I didn't think they created enough with an offensive system. Just asking Tremont to beat his guy was sort of their offensive times, or Javante, or Watford, get him and let him sort of play point forward or whatever. But I mean, he got guys to buy into roles, and we were playing. And in March, every game was relevant. And then, so.
We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store. The Thibodeau Store and the Pierre Part Store. You go to the
Getting that green egg on today, Charlie.
The green egg cooker
yes,
is just one of many grills.
Got to cook EJ some food when I'm going.
That you're going to be going a while, man.
I'm cooking a lot tonight, too.
The selection of grills is second to none. You can go to the website, thethibodeaustore.com, or 900 St. Patrick Highway down in Thibodaux. The Shop Pit Bosses, the Shop Char Grilled, the Chop Char Broils, the big green egg cookers like Jimmy mentioned, all of them there. Also for your patio specials right now on patio furniture, outdoor expressions available at the website. Some of this stuff is available for free delivery. If you're doing home improvements, the Thibodeau Store is a place to go because they'll help you through these home improvement projects. So you don't have to hire a contractor or a handyman. A lot of this stuff you can do yourself. Well, I don't know how to do that. Well, let them walk you through it step by step. They've got experts on staff. You're going to save time. You're going to save money. You won't be buying materials that you don't need or using procedures that are not going to save you any time. The Thibodeau Store, Do It Best member store, open daily till 5:30. Get all your regular hardware store essentials as well. Hand tools, power tools, lots of gardening equipment, and fishing gear if you're heading down to the coast. Online, it's thethibodeaustore.com.
Yes, indeed, man. Going to Hidden Iverstein, get my steak burgers, got the chicken marinating. What else I got, Charlie? Throw some kebabs on there. Loading him up.
I'll be over there at 5 o'clock.
Yes, indeed. Come on by. Bring a plate.
Live in Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Henniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, it's rolling.
This is Charles Henniger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Sammy's in Prairieville. Colucci joins us from Las Vegas, and it's the final day of SEC Media Days. Live at Lunch from Sammy's in Prairieville, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
offices of OC Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention vehicle owners, before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Florida at the podium right now. Billy Napier confirming that DJ Lagway, they feel confident that he will be ready to go to start fall camp. Remember, he was limited with that shoulder injury back in the spring. Florida's got a soft start to the schedule with Long Island and South Florida, but we'll know about Billy Napier before Halloween, Jimmy, because the 4 games after that are at LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, and at Texas A&M. That's they got a bye in the middle of that, but that's a pretty stretch. So they'll get out of the gate 2-0. They'll be 2-0 when they come to Baton Rouge.
We're one of the toughest schedules in college football last year, and it's just as tough this year. So, I mean, non-conference games against Miami and an improved Florida State team.
Yep, and they got of course a regular game with Georgia and Tennessee and Florida State to finish it up. Tomorrow we are at Sammy's in Prairieville. Thanks to the folks here at Finbom. For Jimmy and Jordan, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Need more space? Workbox LLC.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Hey, Jordan.
Yes, sir.
You can you pull some of those